Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Today we are taking on Jill Nabat's Shinryu fight. And just another example of Rosa being a DPS, right? Yeah, this is kind of just I'm using Jill because I need to get the mission, because I guess I didn't look at the missions, but typically there's a mission for using the featured character without a friend unit. So we're bringing Jill, and then I'm like, well, I just still kind of want to do my Aerith Rosa combo. So we don't really have like a true DPS here. Now I think Jill can be that if you have the BT. I did look for a Jill friend, did not see one on my friends list because I was going to try showcasing that here. But there wasn't any on the friends list. I know some people said they were going to try to set it for me, but they just weren't appearing. So, and when in doubt, use Rosa as the DPS, right? And we get through just fine here, right? It's crazy because with this Aerith Rosa combo, they can just ramp so quick, and you're just like starting your burst phase at pretty much 900+%, and you just blow up the fight. And Rosa does enough damage to do it. It's really crazy how good she is, actually, right? So, what this fight does, and we didn't really see the mechanics here because, and this is crazy that even someone like Rosa just blows up the fight so bad that we can kind of miss the mechanics. But what they're trying to showcase here is they want you to show off that Jill has that daze, right? So what happens is this boss is going to hit some thresholds where he gets, I think it's like a yellow aura. And if you let him act while that aura is up, he gets like a bunch of really nasty buffs. So the idea is to cancel it, you have to have him have a turn where he can't act. So you have to confuse him in some way. Now you definitely could just bring like a paralyzed call or something, that would work just fine. But once again, I typically will use the new featured character on the Shinryu because there's usually a mission for it anyways. So with Jill, what you can do that's really nice is you can bring like a Shelt Call on her. And I did bring the Shelt Call, but I didn't end up using it. But if I needed the Paralyze in a pinch, because the Paralyze comes from her EX or her FR. So you could just use Shelt in a pinch and put that on. Or I believe I think it's the LD will auto charge the EX too. So I mean, she's got a couple of ways to do it. If you need to have that EX up to hit the Paralyze, or once again, you can just hit the FR button, which works too. So yeah, we're basically just ramping here. This is normal Rosa Aerith shenanigans, so to speak. Now they did put some buffs on. Luckily we had a Rydia call on, so they did try to debuff us. I'm not sure what those debuffs were, but Rydia call. And then that got me thinking, oh, I better put Raijin on too. Like, I didn't realize they're going to off-turn try to do stuff to me. So I'm like, let's put Raijin on too just in case. That got me thinking there a little bit. And then, yeah, Aerith is going to ramp pretty much the whole way there. And then we are going to, once again, lead with Rosa Force just because it's so good. And we're going to get those high gains off of Aerith. It just works out really, really nice. Now, the nice thing with Jill is I'm pretty sure Jill, when she does her, if she had her BT, right, and she does her Behemoth off turn, I think it's going to get a lot more than 30% on a Rosa FR, but I haven't tested it yet. Because it treats it as you're actually pressing that button. And 30% is just what it gets as like a baseline, but she would actually fulfill Rosa's condition. So I'm pretty sure it would be like maybe like 100% or something. I would have to test it. I guess what I could have done, and I didn't end up doing it in this video, is just during a Rosa Force time, I could just press her 35 button and just see what it does. But whatever that does on a button press, it should do off turn if you ever BT. So I mean, just another reason why Rosa's the GOAT, why everybody needs to get Rosa. If you have Rosa built without the BT, you might want to go get her BT with tokens, because she's pretty dang busted. I really like this girl. She's the reason I think I'm going to do Blue Crystal next, actually. Just abusing this combo is so good. So good, so good. So here we go. We're hopping in with the big time gains here. So this is our big echo with Aerith. Once again, the big fat, 160? Yeah, about 160%. Pretty dang crazy. We're going to do that times 2. And then the nice thing is you get really good gains just off of like the healing wind too. So it's just like, basically my goal is before Rosa's next turn, I'm going to get as high of a percent as I can with her sitting on like turn 7 to go into a burst phase. That's really just the goal here, right? So I'm like, yeah, we're on turn 10, so let's pop a healing wind. We'll just burn a turn for a really big gain. 128. Pretty good, right? So we're already at 567. We're on turn 9. Now I'm like, well, we'll pass turn to Jill. because Aerith does like to do high turn rate too. So I'm like, let's just burn a turn now because I think she's going to jump up anyways. Yep, and she did. And I could have tested. I could have just held down on the button. But Aerith does like to jump turns at this point. It happens very often. So we'll do that. Now we're going to go down to turn 8. And then I know that Jill's got an Echo waiting, so we'll still be on turn 8. Aerith can then do another attack. We'll be on turn 7. And then we'll be on Rosa at pretty much a max gauge. It's kind of crazy. The nice thing too here is the FR is going to put on the Paralyze. So we'll go ahead and pop that down. And canceling the force is pretty easy on these guys. It's just doing a melee force that inflicts a debuff. So there are many characters that can do that. Reno himself would be an example of a character that can do that, who's shown up right there. But yeah, melee damage debuff isn't that hard at all. But hey, we beat them. We didn't even have to... we didn't even let them get to force time. And they do ramp pretty quick, right? Like, I ramped very aggressively, and they still got to 92%. So this is one where I think they intend that you kind of deal with their force, and we beat them to that race. So here we are. We're at 745. Aerith, now I'm thinking we'll just do a Seal Evil for big damage, right? We're at 745. Might as well. Might as well just throw down here. Yeah, 12 mil AoE, pretty good for Aerith. Once again, and she's throwing out those off-turn bombs. We got the daze there, so nothing happening. And now I'm thinking, yeah, I think it's time for a burst. So going in at 823% to start, not too bad for Rosa. And remember, she's got her man Paladin Cecil popping in, helping me deal a lot of damage. So I'm just like, sure, we haven't done the EX. Let's open with that. You know, we're going to save the FR total at full 999% for sure. But that's the thing, like, dude, Rosa, her damage, and then, you know, you got Aerith off turn, and then you got Paladin Cecil hopping in. You add all that up, she put up some nice damage on that turn. Some pretty good damage. 900%. Figure we'll probably pop a Divine Blast while it's free. So yeah, like 12 mil. 12 mil, but then we got to combo that with the Paladin Cecil. So that's, you know, that was about like 18 mil. Got some damage on Lightning as well. So she's throwing down some damage. We got the FR ready. We're going to do the LD here first, and then we'll hit FR after that. And once again, we're doing this without launching. I could have even thrown Reigns on here too, right? So I decided not to. I just did it straight up as is. So this is without Reigns, and we're still like beating this boss down. And, you know, this probably isn't, like, the tankiest boss in the world, right? I think Astos would absolutely destroy this fight. So if you just want to hop in here with Astos, literally you could do the same thing I did. Just some method of ramping up very quick and then just going into Astos burst. There's no way this boss survives, like, 2 seconds with Astos around, right? And that's probably what I would have done here, but I wanted to bring Jill for the mission, right? But yeah, I'm someone that I'm always going to bring the team that I think is going to get it done the easiest and try to, you know, not make it too hard for myself. So I always like blowing up fights really, really good. So yeah, even there it was 13 mil plus this. So yeah, I mean, she's hitting around 20 mil shots, which it's not like top tier damage or anything, but she's doing enough. So, and this is just one of those things where, like, kind of in a pinch, I kind of had a team comp where I didn't really have room for a DPS. So, I mean, I did, right? I could have taken out Aerith or Rosa for a DPS, but I don't want to break up my nice combo, my amazing duo of instant crazy ramping. Can't break up this duo. They're too good. And then here we go. We're going to finish off with the BT attack. Now, I did prioritize to make sure to kill the Behemoth because I didn't want to deal with his mechanics. Lightning is still alive with just a little bit. Here's the thing, like after the burst, we still have off turn coming. So watch this. We still have gauge here, and we've got 2 more off turn hits that are still going to happen here. So we got an Aerith pop, and then we've got a Holy Blade. So even though Lightning was at 8%, we just burst her down to actually 1%. So we pretty much got that done in one force. And then, like, just to be safe, we don't, you know, we'll just pop the Brother Summon, make sure that there's no crazy off turn shenanigans out of Lightning here. And then it's just pretty much one attack and it's GG. So we're like, sure, we'll pop Jill's LD for the first time. You know, she's popping off 1.7 mil. That's not bad damage. Like, she's definitely fine. So anyways, guys, there you go. All missions complete. We got that sucker done very quick. 10 turns, very hasty. No issues whatsoever. Very clean run. Let me know how you handled this fight. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.